welcome back to another video about a children's trading card game, and the entire set list for One Piece Set 1 has dropped. If I sound a little low energy, it's because I am still sick. Jesus Christ, it's been like a month. Anyway, let's go ahead and get right into it. So, boom, we've got a lot of cards to get through. I don't want to waste your time, so I'm going to try and blaze through the boring ones and just hit the interesting ones. So, we got a vanilla, no one cares. Immediately an interesting one. So this Boa Hancock is insane. 4-drop, 5k. Blocker, Don 1 if your hand is 5. When attacking or when blocking, if your hand is 5 cards or less, you draw 1. So you can swing with this for 6k and plus, or you can block with it for 5k and plus. Yes, needless to say, this is amazing, and there is a leader we will see where this is going to be absolutely nuts with that. Then we have got Overheat. This is a 2-cost event. Counter your leader or one of your characters gains 4k power, then return one 3-cost or lower character inactive to its owner's hand. And the trigger returns one 4-cost or lower character to its owner's hand. So I do like the versatility here. Blue has lots of on-play 3-drop or lowers that you might like to spam. And being able to return a 3-cost or lower that's active can either mess up your opponent's engine, what they're trying to do, can screw up their turn if they're trying to do some sort of combo. I think this is pretty good. The main issue is it's, of course, a 2-drop. Though that isn't necessarily an issue if you're playing the 7-drop Crocodile, who will make this a 1-drop, which is really easy to deal with. So, depending on the build, I think this is going to be a really, really powerful card. We've got Uta, 4-drop 4k, on play, return up to 1 red character, other than Uta, that costs 3 or less from your trash and to your hand. This is obviously really, really good, especially in like the Rush deck. Well, okay, cool. You get to get your resources back and play your Rush cards, which are basically like all 3-drops and 2-drops. Then we've got Gordon. On play, you may put 1 card from your hand under your deck to draw a card. So it's a 2k counter, and it's an on play. So I think we're going to have to wait and see the film support that comes out in the starter deck to see if there's more synergies there. But this is not a bad effect, especially on a 2k counter, and especially because it's quite cheap, so being able to filter is like never necessarily a bad thing. Yeah, I think this is pretty decent. Then we have got a bunch of leaders. We've got a bunch of leaders. Okay, so let's talk about Odin. So green only, Wano Country Kazuki family, activate main once per turn. You can trash a Wano Country type card from your hand, untap to Udon. Interesting, really interesting. Obviously on a combo-y, but kind of letting you overextend beyond what you would usually be able to do. Like ramp in a way, but obviously very much not. You're not getting the same utility. But gives you access to kind of cool combos and stuff. I don't know how good this deck is going to be. I think it's going to be quite strong, and we'll see this award as we get further down. My inclination is this deck is going to be quite strong. But the leader effect in and of itself seems pretty decent, but obviously, you know, it's less strong in and of itself. You need to support it with powerful effects. Then we've got Don Quixote Doflamingo, 5-drop here. This is a Shichibukai leader, and this is the one you're probably going to be using. Don 2, when attacking, you pay 1. So you're swinging for 7k and you pay 1. Reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a Shichibukai character with a 4-cost or lower, you may play it rested. So, like, basically, 50% of the time, you're going to get something free. If you build your deck with 25 4-cost or lower Shichibukais, which seems pretty reasonable to expect. This is obviously crazy. You know, that means if the average game is 6 turns, right, then you're going to be getting 3 units for free. And if I told you that this read like, you know, once every other turn, look at the top X cards of your deck, play a 4-cost or lower, you'd be like, oh, this is crazy. Obviously, it's not exactly the same, but yeah, I think this is a really powerful effect, especially when you consider that like a lot of these cards are on-play abilities as well, which they're all going to stack. Obviously, you play them rested, so they're vulnerable to your opponent's attacks and stuff, but the fact that you can just manufacture a board from nothing is really, really good. And yeah, I think this is a really powerful leader effect, especially like mainly in the early game, right? That's when you're going to want to use this to build your board like way faster than your opponent could conceivably do it themselves. The downside, of course, being you're basically dedicating 3 dons every single turn to this effect, so you're neglecting building the board yourself, but you're potentially building it better. We'll need to see, but this is like a powerful effect all the way through the game. And then we've got what is possibly my favourite leader from the set, Crocodile Blue-Purple. So, Don 1, if you have 4 cards or less in hand at the time of activating an event, you may draw a card if you have not yet drawn a card with the leader's effect this turn. So, in particular, in the Baroque Works deck, you know you're going to be using an event probably most of your turns, and you're definitely going to be using an event on most of your opponent's turns. A lowball estimate is that this card reads like draw 4 or draw 5, right? Like that's a low ball estimate. It could be more than that. It could very well be more than that. That's so crazy. Like being able to go plus that hard is amazing. Like especially when the counter values in this game are so small and every card really really matters. The fact that you can just keep on digging, like yeah, okay, you have to have 4 cards or less in hand. I imagine that's not going to be much of a restriction. You know, like block with block with something and then use the event. Like if you really need to get yourself down to the 4, you know, it's not an issue. Like you're going to be able to get the value here unless you literally have like an 8 card hand, in which case I'm kind of questioning what you and your opponent are doing. Yeah, I don't know. I think this is really really good. Getting access to the blue and the purple tools like is so nice. Yeah, it just seems really strong. I wouldn't say far and away the best leader in the game. Like by no means would I say that, but like I would say like a really powerful effect and definitely my personal favorite and the one I'm going to be playing the most. And then we got King, and this is a real disappointment. So this is your turn. As long as you have 10 Don, all your opponent's characters have -1k. So, okay, cool. Like, I get it. Like, it's passive. You literally have to do nothing for it. But, I mean, I can't help but look at Zoro and be like, okay, but is this even remotely comparable? Like, I don't know. I'd much rather have said, like, Don 1 on your opponent's turn. Your opponent's characters lose 1k or something. I don't know. Like, that might be too good, but, yeah. I'm not a fan. I feel like I would just play... like, starter deck Kaido over this. Okay, then we got Caribou 3-drop on KO. KO one of your opponent's characters with 4k power or less. This is okay. I don't know how often your opponent's really going to be playing cheap, like, units that small. Probably a reasonable amount of time, especially in red where you have the ability to reduce power. Though, obviously, like, KOing this manually on your turn may be a bit of a challenge, but this seems like an okay card. And Supernova, which is nice. Then we've got Hadruden, this is a vanilla. We've got Marco, this is a vanilla. Then we've got Green Star Rafflesia. 1-drop, counter. One of your opponent's characters or leaders gets -2k power for this turn. And the trigger activates this card's counter effect. So the reason I think this card is just potentially very good is because it hard outs, like, just counter, you know, combo decks, right? So if your whole shtick is I'm going to like attack, like, 3 times with this one thing, -2k power is, like, essentially like saying +6k, you know? In a weird way. Obviously it's not, but like okay, it's like -2k power means that you're losing 2k less each time you have to guard it, which is obviously really really powerful. So I think like depending on the metagame, this is going to be a really powerful tool. At the moment, doesn't seem like there's that much combo, so probably not. And certainly the combo decks that do exist are attacking twice. Like yeah, okay, this is still good value at twice, but there's a lot of like -2k events, +2k events where I think they do more. And, you know, I'd immediately compare this to Guard Point, which is +3k, so... Yeah. Then we have got Izo on play, rest one of your opponent's characters, it costs 4 or less, and it's a 2k counter. My inclination is this is pretty decent. You know, 4 or less is going to be quite a lot of units. Like, you're probably going to be able to get something with this, and then clear it off. But mainly it's a 2k counter, and, you know, that's obviously really, really good. Then we got a vanilla. Then we got Conjuro. This card sucks. On KO, losing like negging. Like no, thank you. This first effect is nowhere near good enough to justify that. Momo. This is a staple 4 of in the Wano Kuni deck. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck. Reveal a Wano country type card and put it in your hand. There's a lot of Wano country type cards, guys. Like this is really powerful. Like yeah, this is nuts. Then we've got Kumarasaki. On play, you can pay 3. If your leader is Kozuki Odin to untap one of your Wano country type characters. This is interesting. Potentially comboing into that, like just, you know, going super plus and like going multi-attack. And you can save it for when, you know, your opponent probably can't deal with it, which is obviously really nice. You can also, I don't know, use it to like spam Momonosuke's or something if you really want to be going plus. Because you do need to build a board with Odin for an event we will see later, which is absolutely crazy. So, yeah, I mean, this is a card you probably do play a couple copies of, mainly for the comboing to kill turn. Then we've got a Vanilla Shinobu, and then we've got Denjiro, Don 1 when attacking, so you'll be attacking for 8k, big. If you lose Kazuki Odin, untap 2 of your Don. That's quite good, isn't it? That's quite good. I think this is like a nice nice kind of finishing, not finishing, but like, it's big, you know, it's a nice later game play, not even that late, 5-drop, you can untap this with all the green support, right, like, oh, actually, you can't, because it's not supernova, but you can, like, you can play it with lore if you wanted to, but obviously, like, you wouldn't, because you don't know what I'm saying here. Let's move on. Beppo, Don 1 when attacking, play up to 1 4 cost or lower Hearts Pirates type character other than Beppo from your hand. I think this is quite a nice effect. generically plays 4 cost or lowers. The Heart Pirate support is not here yet. We're going to have to wait a few more sets for this to potentially be usable, but this is definitely going to be a staple in that deck, especially because it's a 2k counter. Oh boy, and here we have one of the best cards in the set. Kid is eating so good in this game, it's crazy. So 8-drop Kid here. Don 1 on the opponent's turn. As long as this character is rested, your opponent cannot attack anything other than characters named Eustace Captain Kid. Activate main once per turn, you may rest this character. You play up to 1 character that costs 3 or less from your hand. So essentially, you can either swing in for 9k, or you can just rest it and play something for free. This is very powerful, right? Like in a rushy deck, like you get to just play one of your rush units for free, like have more aggro, you're getting value that way. Like, this lets you extend beyond the amount of Dons you have, right? Because you play this for 8, you know, you can slap a Don onto it, rest it, gain some value, play some like sick 3-drop like Zorro or some shit in like red-green. Like, what the hell? This card is so good. Yeah, I'm a massive fan of this card. I think it's really, really, really strong and one of the best cards in the game because this literally reads your leader has, I mean this doesn't, but this effectively reads like your leader has 8k power for the rest of the game until your opponent deals with this card, which may be way more difficult than they're expecting it to because you can just, you know, defend it. Crazy powerful card. Then we've got a vanilla here that sucks, and we've got X-Drake. On play K up to one of your opponent's arrested characters that costs 4 or less and it has a 1k counter. I think this is okay. You know, depends how often those targets are going to be available. Do you really want to be playing this in your deck? Like, deck space is hella tight, guys. Like, it's really tight. You want to be playing the best possible cards possible. I don't know if the best possible cards possible. The best cards you can. I don't know if this is necessarily one of them, but it's definitely not a bad card. Okay, so here's possibly the best event in the game. You can be my samurai. Wano country. So firstly, you can literally search this with Momonosuke. Main, you may rest 2 of your characters, draw 2. It's fucking... It's not really pot agreed, but it's pot agreed, right? Like, I mean, especially because the deck, like, has loads of cheap units so you can spam the board out. So, like, turn 2, this is going to be live. Oh, this card is so good. This card is so good, guys. Like, this is generically useful in green. Like, in green, this is amazing. In Odin green, this is ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, this is, like, the big reason the deck is going to be good, in my opinion. Insanely powerful card. Then we've got Demon Face, KO up to 2 of your opponent's rested characters that cost 5 or less. I think this is a really efficient card, and it has, you know, 5 or less is actually quite big, so I think this will probably actually be worth playing. I wish it had a trigger to use the effect, which is KO one thing, but yeah, it might be too good then. I think this is a pretty good card, and depending on the format, like, you'll probably, I think you will see people playing this card. I feel like you will. Then we've got Paralyzed Waterfall, counter, during this battle, 2k power for one of your characters or leaders, then set one of your characters to active, and as a trigger, KO one of your opponent's rested characters that costs 4 or less. So I think this is a good card. If you want to untap your unit so your opponent can't attack them, but, I don't know how good this really is. It's like, you know, it's not letting you kill your opponent, you know, yeah, okay, it's providing some level of protection, but if your opponent really wants to kill something, they'll hard remove it, or they'll just attack it first, you know. I mean, like, yeah, okay, you can use this to protect it, untap it. You also have to leave a Don open. The trigger's good, but, I mean, I don't think we should be, like, in the vast majority of cases, like, basing how good a card is based on the trigger, because that's so luck-based. Yeah, it's fine. Then we have got Beven. This is a 3-cost Wano country event. Main, you may transfer a Wano country card from your hand. Set up to one of your Wano country characters that cost 3 or less to active. So essentially, you pay 3 and you neg 1 from your hand. So you're going -2 and paying 3 to untap. This could win you the game, and you probably do want to play like 2 copies of this card because like it could win you the game. It probably won't, but it could. And there are some big units at 3-drop, right? Like the main one that comes to mind is Okiku, which is a 5k. So if you slap like 2 Dons, 3 Dons on her, she's 7 to 8k. It's quite big in it. And suddenly, if you're doing 3 to 4 attacks with an 8k unit, wow, that could very quickly swing the game. And, you know, of course, Yamato is a Wano country type character, so you just get to play that broken card, like, in synergy, so you can just top search it. Yeah, I think this deck is pretty good. On to blue, we got Arlong. Don 1, you may rest this character, so, you know, you're paying 5 for that. Pick one card from your opponent's hand and reveal it. If the real card is an event card, place up to one of their life cards on the bottom of the owner's deck. So obviously, if you can guarantee this, that's insane. Can you guarantee this? Realistically, no. How many events are people playing? Seems like it's on the lower side. So if your opponent has like a 4-card hand, like, you know, the odds of them having an event in there are probably like maybe 60-70%, and then the odds of like you choosing that are probably like 1 in 4, right? So you multiply those odds together, it's not looking great. Obviously against some decks this is going to be really powerful, or in the situations when you know what your opponent has is going to be really powerful. I assume we'll get a Fishman deck, and this may be way more useful than that, but until then, this is just like a kind of a gimmicky card that will like catch players out a couple times, and like everyone will be like, "Whoa, it's got so broken," but it's not really consistent. Vanilla Moria, 4-drop 5k. You're on your turn when you have 5 more cards in hand. This gains double attack, and it has 1k. So obviously you can play this for free with Doflamingo, and then your opponent just sits in it and goes, "Okay, well either I kill this card or it's swinging for double attack on next turn," and double attack is really scary. Like really, really scary. So yeah, I mean, it seems pretty good to me. I think you probably do want to be playing this, and you know, obviously it's got a counter. Mihawk, this is nuts. 9-drop 9k. On play, place up to one of your characters with a cost, one character with a cost of 7 or less on the bottom of its own deck. So this functionally removes like anything. Like the only stuff that dodges this that's like really super relevant is the 8 cost kit, which obviously would be great if Mihawk hit, but yeah. This is amazing, like, just completely generic removal, sets at the bottom of the deck, they can't even, like, revive it or salvage it or something. And it's big, and it's a Shichibukai, so, you know, synergies there. I think this is an amazing card. Yeah, super, super strong, just generically really good. Jinbei, on play, place one character with a cost of 3 or less at the bottom of its owner's deck, and trigger, play this card. I think this is quite good. You know, like, 3 or less, it's not terrible. Especially like when it seems like there's 2 main decks in the format that are playing a lot of those. You know, being the Rush, like, well, 3 really, like 3 or 4, right? Like, you know, you got the Rush red with Zoro, you got the Odin deck, and then you've got like whatever red green ends up doing. It's probably playing lots of cheap things. So yeah, I mean, well, the Luffy variant, yeah, I don't know, this seems pretty good to me. Probably a nice like anti-meta pick there. Then we got Don Quixote Doflamingo, blocker, and on play look at the top 5 cards of your deck and place them on the top or bottom of your deck in any order, and it's a 1k counter. I don't think I need to tell you that this is a card that is very nice and you probably want to be playing. Pacifista, so this is a blocker and you can play unlimited copies of it in your deck. And obviously Sentomaru just brings this out for free, so I don't think this deck is going to be anything special yet, but when the Navy deck becomes more like fleshed out, like that's going to be quite a nice combo to just like get something free from your deck, and you know, it's a blocker for 5k, it's not even that bad. Yeah, nice. Then we've got an old art for Hancock. Then we have got Miss Doublefinger, and actually it seems like we're missing a lot of the officer agents in this set, so set 2, expect Baroque works get even better. But this is just a 3-drop 4k, on KO, draw 1. Yep, simple effect. I think this is fine. There's another Baroque works name. Personally, I wish we'd got more of it, but I kind of get it, because you'd immediately be pigeonholed into, like, we already have so many cards that I mean, you're playing basically 4 of every single Baroque works card, like, almost, so yeah, like this would very quickly just like auto build, and you know, it's only set 1, so I get it. I'm excited for more support to come. Then we've got Desert Sparta. This is really good in my opinion. So counter, your leader or one of your characters gains 2k during this battle. Then on the top 3 cards of your deck, put them on top or bottom in any order. And the trigger draws 2 and you discard 1. So the trigger is a wash, right? Because you do lose this card from your hand, but you get to draw 2 and pitch 1, so you get to filter your hand. That's good. And the counter gives you 2k, and then you get to like kind of either choose your draw or get rid of bad draws, right? Like kind of, you know, hopefully set yourself up to counter whatever your opponent's just done. I think this is very nice. And again, blue can probably play this for free. And when you're talking about this effect for free, this is crazy. Yeah, I think this is really, really nice. Then we have got Crescent Cutlass, 3-drop counter. If your leader has Shichibukai, return 1 character with a cost of 5 or less to the owner's hand. And obviously you're bouncing a 5 or less, that's a lot of stuff. Like that's a majority of stuff that people are playing. Stops basically every single combo. Yeah. I actually, this is really, really good. Obviously it's expensive, but if you have 1 or 2 Crocodile set up, it becomes a lot more affordable. And you can do this to disrupt your opponent's turn, to disrupt their attack. I think this is quite nice. And it's a Baroque works, so it's, you know, targetable with the salvaging and the searching. Very, very nice card. On to purple. Kyoshiro. On play, if you have 8 or more Dons, draw a card. Not bad. You may play this, not sure. It's a plus card, so you probably do. Queen. On play, Don -1. This character gains a rush, and then give one of your opponent's characters -2k during this turn. This is obviously amazing. Like, a rush 5k means it's hitting the leader, and -2k means that you can either snipe a tiny thing or like reduce their blockers to be ineffectual, and they're either losing their blocker, or like, you know, they're not going to be able to, you know, keep it around, or they're just losing something. I think this is a very good card. Big fan. Yeah, Queen do be looking kind of fresh. Kurozumi Orochi. On play, reveal an artificial Overheat smile from your deck and add it to your hand, then shuffle your deck. Counter plus 2k. Obviously, in the smile deck, this is a 4-off staple. Kurozumi Semimaru. Kurozumi type characters other than your Kurozumi Semimaru cannot be KO'd in battle. Obviously, that's good. That's good because you just keep this guy untapped and like your opponent either removes them by effect or doesn't remove them at all. But I mean, let's see what your selection is here, right? And the final one is a blocker, right? Like, okay. So I get the combo here. You play both of those, and then you just have your blockers, and then like you can just keep blocking with them, and they literally cannot die. I get it. Cute combo. Is it going to be good? Seems unlikely to me. However, if we ever get a green-purple 1-0 country leader, or just a green-purple leader in general, these are 1-0 country traded, and that level of consistency may make this cute little combo a little bit scary. So, you know, just keep an eye out. Then we've got Jack. When attacking Don -1, your opponent trashes one card from their hand. That is amazing. Just go -1, please. Yep, I really like this card. Yep. Boa Huang. On play, choose 2 cards from your opponent's hand. Your opponent reveals those cards and +1 counter. Knowledge of your opponent's hand is nice. I don't know to what extent this would really matter. I guess in the Smile deck you probably just play it because it's Smile traded. And we've got Babanuki, Vanilla. Fukurokuju, Vanilla, Black Maria, blocker, and on block Don -1. This character gains 1k power during this turn, so you can make this a 4-drop 6k blocker, which is very easy to protect and could potentially screw up your opponent. That seems okay. I don't know if the deck really has the space for it. I'd rather play Starter Deck Queen. Then we got to page 1, activate main, Don -1. This character can also attack your opponent's active characters during this turn. This is swinging for 5k. This seems okay. I don't know if this is anything particularly great, though. Though, obviously, Ulti from the starter deck will play this out for free. And that's pretty good. When you're playing this instead of Vanilla, that's pretty good. Then we've got X-Drake. On play, Don -1, your opponent trashes 1 card from their hand. So here we've got more of this hand destruction, and it's a 2k counter. I don't know if you play both, but like hand destruction decks are like kind of always really good. So I would expect, I just keep an eye on this in future sets because like Dragon Ball has the Cell deck, which is like a hand destruction deck, so you know, kind of good. Then we've got Elephant Smart Chew. Main, KO one of your opponent's characters with cost of 2 or less, then add 1 Don from your Don deck as it is active, and the trigger activates the effect. This card sucks. Sheep's Horn. Don -1, arrest one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 6 or less. Might be good for you to deal with like some really annoying thing your opponent has set up, but I'm not so hot on it. And Thunder Bagua. Counter, you're a leader or one of your characters gains 4k power during this battle. Then if you have 2 or less, add a Don. Trigger, add a Don. It seems okay. Kaido especially seems like because it ramps, seems like the most able to have these kind of Dons available. But I don't know. I just really think like 2 is really expensive, right? Like now Blurple can play this for 1 because you have Crocodile, and then this is really, really good. So if you're playing this for 1, this is amazing. If you're playing this for 2, like leaving two open is really rough, guys. Like I don't know. I think it's a very tough one to have there. And then we got a couple of vanillas to finish off the set, and then there's been like a bunch of alt arts revealed, but you can check those out for yourself later on. So there we go, that is set 1 of the One Piece trading card game. I'm going to be doing lots of playtesting over the upcoming months. Please do subscribe to this channel because I'm going to be following the meta in Japan. I'll be posting updates so you guys can be like well equipped. I'll be doing a set review, not now, quite a while from now I think, after I've had some real time to get my teeth stuck into the set, and obviously like I'm also not going to upload it this far in advance of the English release because no one will care. Expect deck profiles and all that sort of stuff as well. So if you enjoyed this, please do like the video. Let me know your thoughts on the cards of the set in the comment section down below, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video.